have you meaning the port, but maybe you can also speak for your stakeholders or cargo owners. Have you been surprised by how quickly events in Suez have led to those rates spiking on the Asia US West Coast trade? I mean, it all happened really quite quickly, didn't it? Spot rates, at least.
I'm not surprised, Mike. You have to keep in mind that the supply chain crisis that we all lived through the last couple of years is still very much in our rearview mirror. And I think, in a way, the immediate reaction to the disruptions, both in Panama and the Suez Canal, with what's happening in the Red Sea, it was part and parcel of how we were navigating some of these challenges the last couple of years. So I think the awareness and the experience that we all went through is what put us in a position to be more nimble and more responsive to the needs. But let me also offer this. What's going to be important, and I think going forward, I think it's too early to say that there's a trend that's building here. But what's going to be very telling is in the next couple of months, as the shippers negotiate their service contracts, that's what's going to give us a better sense of what we may anticipate for the balance of the year. Because right now, shippers are reacting to the disruption. They're looking for ways to manage through, whether it's Panama or the Suez Canal. And so there's a lot of different options on the table for them, and they're availing themselves of all these different options. But once they negotiate those service contracts with the shipping lines, that's going to indicate where those longer term shipping trade routes are going to go and how much of that is going to be diverted to the US West Coast.
That's that critical tender season on the Trans-Pacific where a lot of, well, the vast majority of cargo moves on long-term contracts from Asia into the US. And that's ongoing at the moment. And most of those contracts would start probably around about the 1st of May. So then your view is that we'll then see a lot more transparency on what's driving these trends that we're seeing the beginnings of at the moment.
That's correct. And by the way, a lot of that negotiating between the shippers and the shipping lines happens at TPM, right? During the conference that you referenced at the beginning. I would also add this. So in addition to the issues in Panama, the Red Sea, Suez Canal, another issue that could sway cargo to the West Coast is a lack of certainty on a labor contract on the East Coast. And that also is another factor that shippers are going to have to contingency plan for. And they're going to have to consider that factor as they negotiate these service contracts with the shipping lines.